All right, today I want to kind of give you this, and actually this is by request. Somebody asked me about this, but over the years I've gotten this question a lot of times about a couple things. One, when you're building a landscape bed like this, how do you retain the soil so it doesn't wash into the yard, or how do you separate the grass from the beds? And if you go to the garden center, they'll sell you all kinds of things, from timbers to stones to blocks to little plastic edging to metal edging. And the truth of the matter is, you don't need any of those things. I mean, I've never used them in my landscape. I've landscaped over 500 homes, and I've never used anything like that. Even if I build a bed up, I still taper the soil down. Just start back there and then taper it right down to the grass. That's the easiest way in the world to, one, maintain it, because you've got to mow this thing. And if you put those decorative stones all around here, or timbers, then you got to go back and hand trim along there, or go along with a weed whacker or string trimmer or something to cut that back. So I'm going to introduce you to probably one of the most versatile tools in your shed. This is a Nursery spade. This is very different than something you're going to find in your local discount store. It's very heavy, and it's very heavy duty. You couldn't bend that blade if you tried. And typically these were built and designed for digging nursery stock. And when you're digging nursery stock, you actually take a file and cut this and file this edge really, really sharp, so you're cutting roots. And these are made for digging balls, but they're also used throughout the landscape industry for edging and all kinds of other things. So I'm going to cut an edge along here just to show you how. And basically what I do is I grab the spade up here. I guess I should show you this spade. The handle, it's got a wooden handle, but it's flanked by steel. Like I said, this is a very heavy duty spade, but the weight is the magic thing, because when you pick this thing up and stick it down on the ground, it doesn't bounce back, it doesn't wobble. It's a lot like a hammer. Hammers are made heavy on one end for a good reason. The same with a good nursery spade. Just go online and type in, there's a company called like King of Spades online. They make their own spades. They're about 80 bucks. You're not going to get one of these for $20 or $30, but they're going to about $80. You can type them in. If you go to your hardware store, Ames, I believe, still makes one like this. A hardware store is probably going to cost you over $100 for a spade like this, but if you shop around online, you can probably get one for around $80. All right, now basically I hold it up here, and then I grip it down here further, so I've got some control over it, and then I just start sticking it in the ground. Now, once I've done that, there's actually a couple ways to come back and peel that grass up, because I made a nice neat cut there, and I'm going to turn this way, even though it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. And getting the spade down and getting your hand as low to the ground as possible, and you can peel that right up like that. But that was a lot easier 60 pounds ago and 25 years ago. Here's another tool. This is called a landscaping Mattock. It's got a wide blade on the end, and this thing works very, very well, but you're not hacking like you're digging a ditch or digging a trench. You're basically going to use this to skim along and follow that edge. Just like that. Come back with a leaf rake, rake it all up, and then if it needs a little bit of adjusting, just take your spade and trim it up a little bit. Let me finish this out here. You know, people have been asking me for years, how do you make those edges so neat? Well, you know, you got to take your time and you got to practice a little bit. Now, after I rake that out and pick up all the grass, if it's got any little dips in it, I'll take them out. I'll cut it and straighten it all up. But, whew. But basically, these are two tools, especially if you got stumps or something that you got to remove, or digging out shrubs, this thing is like magic. Once you get used to it, and once you know how to use it and get used to using it, you'll find that the weight of the tool will do a lot of the work for you. I'm Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com.